Hi there, my name is Marley and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the third installment in a little series that I have been doing on my channel since I started it, where I recommend a book to you based on tarot cards or a tarot reading. Basically, how it works is that I will deal out 3 stacks of cards into 3 different piles, and you guys will choose which pile is calling to you of the 3, whether it's the left, the middle, or the right. And then I'll put timestamps down below in the description or the comments, and you click on the timestamp for your pile, and then it will take you to the part of the video where I talk about the cards that were drawn for that pile. And based on what the cards say, I will decide what the cards are saying your book recommendation should be. And as always, I would just like to shout out the person who originally inspired me to make these videos, which was Ariel Bassett, and I'll link her channel down below. And I also want to shout out the deck I'll be using, which was illustrated by Megan Lynn Knott, and it is the Cat Tarot. So these cards are different from my previous videos, and they're pretty cute if you like cats. So I have had some fun with this in the past, so hopefully you guys will have fun with it too, and will keep watching and choose one of the following piles. So first of all, I will be shuffling the deck to make sure the cards, are all mixed up. Then I will deal out the cards into the 3 different piles. So you'll see pile number 1 first, then pile number 2, and then pile number 3. So feel free to take a moment, see which pile you feel most drawn to at the moment, and then go ahead and click on the corresponding time to go to your portion of the video. Hi Group 1, this is your tarot reading. Let's take a look at your cards. So here is the deck for group number 1. The first card that was drawn is the Fool. The second card that was drawn was the Ace of Wands. And the third card that was drawn was Justice. So group 1, let's go through your cards. First of all, you saw that you got the Fool. So this card represents innocence and new beginnings, or having a free spirit. So this card makes me think that your book will feature characters that might be younger in age, or just generally have more innocence to them. Alternatively, the characters could be taking part in some sort of new beginning, whether it's starting a new job, going to a new school, maybe moving to a new town, something like that. And that could be like the catalyst of the story. Your second card was the Ace of Wands. So this card represents creation and willpower and inspiration, along with desire. And so I believe that your book will involve characters who are very creative people, potentially artists, or on the other hand, the book itself will have a very, very creative and unique concept to it, and it will represent creativity from the author. And lastly, your third card was Justice, with our little cat biting this person's hand. I feel like these cards are just so funny. But this card is sort of self-explanatory. It represents justice, or in other words, cause and effect, or like having clarity, or the truth being revealed. So after taking into consideration all 3 of these cards, the book, or rather the book series that I'm going to recommend to you guys today, is The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. I'm not really sure how much I need to say about this series, as it is sort of a classic children's series or middle grade series, and it has had film adaptations already. But these books feature bright and innocent children as the main characters most of the time, which fits with your card, the Fool. It is also an extremely creative series, and the world that is showcased in these books really fits your second card that had that focus on creativity and inspiration. And then finally, the characters in these books are often trying to save Narnia or save the day and have justice prevail, which obviously fits your third and final card, that was the Justice card. So I really hope you'll enjoy this series if you do decide to get around to it. I know it's a bit of an older series, but I feel like it's a classic and one of those series that if you never got around to it, you might still be interested in. So I hope you'll enjoy your recommendation, Group 1. Thanks for watching. I hope you'll leave me a comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Hi Group 2, welcome to your tarot reading / book recommendation. So let's take a look at what cards were dealt for you. So here's your pile, Group 2. The first card that was drawn was Strength. The second is the Hermit. And finally, the last card was Wheel of Fortune. Alright, so let's see what your book recommendation will be based on what these cards say. So the first one is Strength. As you saw, this card is a little bit self-explanatory because it represents having inner strength and bravery, along with having compassion and focus. So this makes me think your book may be a fantasy or some sort of action and adventure book, as normally those types of books need characters that are very strong and very courageous, at least. Your next card, as you saw, was the Hermit, which has this cute little cat hiding in the bag. So this card can show contemplation and the search for inner truth and inner guidance. So this card makes me think that the characters in your book will be trying to find the deeper meaning in life, or maybe trying to find themselves. And in general, there might just be deeper themes in your book and maybe more like serious topics as well. And your third card was the Wheel of Fortune. So this card's meaning is of change and cycles, and it also can represent an inevitable fate. So based on this card, once again, I feel like your book is going to have some sort of deep meaning or deep message and have to do with like change and fate, as I just said. So I'm very excited to recommend this book to you guys, as it was a really good book I read this year. It's actually right here, and that is Legendborn by Tracy Dion. So if you guys don't know, Legendborn follows this teenage girl named Bree, who ends up getting accepted into this program where she gets to like go away to this university early, even though she's only like 16, I think. And when she's there, she stumbles into this sort of secret society where it's based off the King Arthur legends and Merlin and Knights of the Round Table and all that sort of stuff. So if you're into that mythology, this is great. She gets caught up in it. There's magic, there's monsters. It's great. So the reason I picked this based on your cards is that obviously this is a fantasy, which has a lot of action, adventure, and magic. And normally those types of books have very strong characters, and Bree is an extremely strong and brave character. I didn't mention her mother has actually died at the beginning of this book, so she's going through a lot and then getting wrapped up in these monster attacks and this whole new mythology. She has to be very courageous and brave, which fits for Strength. Secondly, as I already said, Bree has to go through a really big journey in this book, and so that's why I think it fits the Hermit as well, because she's like figuring out who she really is and what her like history and ancestry really is. Then finally, there are actually themes of cycles and of fate in this book, as it does deal with the descendants of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. And as I said, the Wheel of Fortune deals with those themes, so I think this book is perfect for you based on what your card reading has said. So I hope you will enjoy this recommendation if you do get around to it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you will like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys! Hi Group 3, thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at what your cards are. So here's your pile, Group 3. The first card is the Four of Cups, that is upside down. The second card is the King of Pentacles. And your third card is the Chariot, which is also upside down. So let's get into what each card means, and then we can figure out what book is being recommended to you from this reading. So as you saw, the first card you got was the Four of Cups, and this card is in the negative position, which represents sudden awareness, choosing happiness, and acceptance. So I'm assuming your book will include a character, probably the main character, suddenly realizing they need to make a change to improve their life, and maybe this will be the catalyst of the story, or maybe that will end up being the end of the story and sort of like the lesson that they learn. Your next card was a King of Pentacles, which has this little kitty eating some tuna. So this card means there will be an abundance of things, prosperity, and security. For this card, I'm going to assume that your book is going to have a happy ending, or just in general have more happy vibes to it than, you know, some other books that just like are tearjerkers or something like that. And your third card was the Chariot, which was upside down, which means that there is a lack of control or lack of direction, and there is some aggression. So I think there actually will be a little bit of chaos in your book. So after examining these cards, the book that initially came to my mind was Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert, which is an adult romance that follows this woman named Chloe who has a near-death experience and suddenly realizes that she needs to get a life because she has not had a very interesting life so far, and she wants to have some cool experiences. So she moves out into her own place and meets Red, who is the superintendent of her new apartment. They don't really hit it off at first, but then Red does end up agreeing to help Chloe work on her Get a Life list that she made, basically a bucket list, and then Chloe's going to help Red with his website. So clearly the reason why I think this book fits with these cards is because Chloe does have that sudden realization at the beginning that she wants to have a better life for herself, which definitely fits your Four of Cups card that you got. Then, since it is a romance, as you can imagine, there are a lot of happy moments throughout, and maybe even a happy ending, which would fit your second card, the King of Pentacles. And then finally, your third card, Chloe does feel like she has a lack of control over her life as she does suffer from a chronic illness, and Red does feel like he has a bit of a lack of direction in his life and doesn't really know what he's doing. So that perfectly fits that third card that you got, which was the Chariot upside down. So thank you so much, Group 3, for tuning in. I hope you'll leave me a like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed your recommendation if you haven't already gotten to this book. With that being said, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!